Everybody, this is Sherry at djsunder.blogspot.com, and tonight I'm going to make a Mother's Day card for you. So to start out with, we are going to be using this Tradewinds matte stack from Die Cuts with a View. I really like this matte stack, and my mom will too, because it has lots of blues, and she really likes blue, as I've mentioned before. And then there's tans and stuff. This is a gorgeous set. So I'm using two pieces of paper from that set. The first one that I'm using is this rose, and it's got a nice gold embossing around it. And then the second one is also a floral, and it's a darker blue, and it has gold embossing as well. So I'm going to be using those. I'm going to be making a 5.5-inch square card. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of paper tray ink, vintage cream cardstock, and I've cut it at 11 inches tall by 5.5 inches wide, and I've scored it in the middle to form our 5.5 square card. Now I've gone ahead and finished the inside just because I had some scraps left, and I just wanted to give the inside a finished look. You know how I like to do that. And so these scraps are about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches wide, and then they're the width of the pad, 4.5 inches. So this pad is 6.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So that's the size that the width would be on that. And then I've just matted them, and that's going to be all I'm going to do to the inside. So I have plenty of room here to write a note to my mom. Then I also went around the edges and distressed the edges of my cardstock, just lightly distressed them with my distressing tool from Tim Holtz. So then the next piece that I'm going to have here is my blue. Now I just found this blue in my scrap stash mixed in with all the other blues, and I don't know what color it is, but I cut it at 5 inches. No, I'm sorry, 5.25 inches square, and I've distressed around it. And I'm going to start with this piece and set the card itself aside, because I want to do some stuff with this one. So let's start by mounting our larger piece. Now I know I'm off camera here. This larger piece here, the lighter colored, is actually 5 inches wide by 4.5 inches tall. And I'm just going to mount that near the bottom. It's just easier for me to square it up if I just, rather than trying to leave one of them, if I just do it this way. Now you notice that it's not quite tall enough, which is part of the reason I brought in the second color, and there won't be much overlap at all, but it's covered up, and so that'll just kind of balance the top there. And I've also distressed around this. This piece is actually 2 inches by 5 inches, and I just want to overlap that so that we have a nice little mat, all the dark blue mat all the way around it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a bow. Now I have this pretty Offray ribbon that I've had for a really long time. It's called Nice and Narrow, and it's it's kind of a organza in some ways, but also it's a polyester ribbon. It's really soft and flexible. And let's see, let me pull some extra off here so I can tie a bow. And I don't want to adhere this bow down until I finish up the rest of my card, because I kind of, I'm really not sure where I'm going to want the bow. And I may even end up not having a bow and just putting it on the back. I just haven't decided. Actually, no, I'm not going to want it on that side. So let's just go ahead. Without a doubt, I know I won't want it on that side because of what's going there. Now, I have to tell you, this has been one of the more frustrating nights I've had with my Cricut. It took me a while to find a Cricut cut that said Mom or Mother. There's not that many on the cartridges that I personally own. And I'm not going to spend too much time on that bow because I'm not sure that it's going to stay there. But I finally found some Mother, which is a bit formal, but I thought, well, it's an elegant card. I can get by with it. And I found it on the Heritage cartridge. And I cut it. It's using the word feature and the shift feature. I cut it at 1 inch, and you can see here it says Mother, but I have had all sorts of fits. It's just a little bit too intricate at this size to get all the shapes in, but I finally found it where I could handle it, and so I matted this. This is 2 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches, or 4 3/4 inches wide by 2 inches tall. And I'm not going to pop that up or anything. I'm just going to leave that nice and flat. Now, I'm not worried about postage on this particular card because I'm sending a gift to my mom, and so I'll just put it in with the gift, and so it won't really matter about postage. So it can be as bulky as I want, and as you'll see in a minute, it's going to be fairly bulky. And actually, I'm kind of surprised, but I like the bow just like it is. So I think what I'll do is I'll just trim off the tails a little bit and go ahead and mount my card base. Now, I could leave it just like this, and typically, I mean, I do that a lot. I just leave my cards just kind of simple. I'm just kind of a simple person. But I actually have some things I want to do to dress this one up. So let's go ahead and mount this on our base. There we go. And typically I don't make this size of card. In fact, this may be the first time I've ever made a card this size. I'm not sure, but the reason I'm going this size is, again, I don't have to worry about finding an envelope for it and mailing it because it's going in with the gift. Now that I have that on there, I'm really tempted just to leave it just like that. But let me show you what I'm thinking, and then I'll decide. I have these flowers from Prima that I got at the scrapbooking show last year, and I was going to put, these were cream colored. You can see it peeking out here, and I sprayed it with my homemade spray, which is, I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but it's actually quite gorgeous on here. It's just got a pewter sparkle. I make it with perfect pearls in the mix of this one, and it's actually beautiful, but it might. Then this was also a Prima flower that I picked up from the same show, and I was going to put them, just center them across kind of like this, but I really don't need that much extra up there. But now let's see, how else can I do this? I can put that one right there. Now you see how my mind works. And the card, though it went together very quickly on camera, I've actually been struggling with it now for probably about 3 hours, just trying to get it the way I wanted it, and so changing things up here is making it interesting. Let me see. How does that look? I'll do that. Just kind of leave that over like so. So that's a lot more fluff than I normally put on my cards, but I kind of like it, so I think we're going to go with it just like that. Now, there are lots of ways that I could apply these flowers, but what I decided to do for the sake of time is use glue dots. Now, I have some really super thick glue dots, and if you haven't used glue dots before, they go on pretty simply, and they do a pretty good job with staying down once they've been on for a little while. Now, for this Prima gold flower, which I think is an excellent match here, now I believe that these actually came with some adhesive on them, but when I pulled it out of the package, the adhesive that was adhering it to the package came up with the flower, and I think it's just maybe they were a bit older. It was a special that I got at the scrapbooking festival or scrapbooking show, so I suspect that they were just a little bit older, and maybe that's even why I got such a great deal on them that I did. But they will actually adhere very nicely. Now, when I wrap this, when I put this in with the package, I will probably wrap it in bubble wrap or tissue paper or something and put it there. So now we have our complete card. It's pretty heavy and it says Mother, and of course with that paper tray ink cardstock it will hold up really well. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but there's all sorts of sparkles in here from the flowers having shed these gold ones. And so I think I'm just going to leave it just like that, Mother, and then on the inside there's plenty of room for me to write my sentiment. So thanks for watching and have a great day.